Look in my eyes for my mind state. I'm on the grind 25-8. Money on my mind, that's how I play. If you got it now, this what I say. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait.
This is the second time me doing this, y'all. But this is season 3, episode 21 of the Swerve City Podcast. We don't have Swole with us today. Sad, but it ain't the COVID-19. Trust me, I promise. She's just not here today. What up, Teasy?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm just a broke rapper back here getting my life together. You know what I mean? Just,
Broke rapper. We make money somehow.
you know, we do. Oh,
We
doing
fund this
okay.
somehow. We fund this some
we
way.
doing okay.
We're not all broke.
They don't like to hear when you got it. They want you to continue to say you ain't got
This is
it.
true. We ain't making no money here.
Right.
We still on the grind. Please support us. Patreon. YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast.
That's how
and
you spell
Patreon.
it.
Boom. For anybody that don't know. But man, yeah. There's a lot going on in the world today. By the time you see this episode and by the time it drops on YouTube. We just got issued quarantine and a lot of things are getting shut down in the world right now. Movie theaters, gyms, events, both wrestling related and actually just all entertainment related. Sports, everything's just going down. And so everybody's being stuck at home right now. So we're trying to figure out little activities that we can do to get us through this hard time. And 2020 is terrible.
You know,
2020 has been pretty awful.
Bad.
We're going to get to this lady over here in a second, but we just got to get to what's going on in the world right now because I'm scared. Y'all ain't scared? Y'all are too calm. Y'all always got something to say. See? Y'all, they be usually live as hell, but now Kayla Braxton, everybody. And now Kayla want to show up.
I can talk now? Okay.
Who said nobody said you couldn't? Nobody said
I was being polite. You know, I don't want to come onto your show and just start talking.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna do my introduction again?
Again. Who said you had a first one? Ooh.
Do it better.
You know, I will say this. During this quarantine, you know.
Do it faster, TZ. Do it faster.
Now listen, I will say this during this quarantine. Luckily, you know, all of us, we hang out a lot. You know what I mean? And we actually like each other. You know what I mean? We actually like each other. Feel sorry for you people that really don't hang out with your peoples because you know if they really your homies or not. Because you know they your homies when you see them every Wednesday.
Ooh.
You know they your homies when you see them at work 8 hours a week, and you can go home and not see them and detox from them. But when you actually now got the quarantine, you got to see these people every day.
You gonna find out who
family,
real people
friends,
is.
Absolutely.
You gonna find out who the real folks is.
You gonna find out who your real folks are now.
And then you're gonna see like people hanging out, and they be like, they didn't invite me to this. I thought we was cool. I thought we was all friends. We was talking and all that. But no.
Yeah, people have a quarantine party. You're not invited. That's all you need to know.
Isn't the whole purpose of a quarantine not to have parties?
And it's like remember like hurricane parties, quarantine. You know.
The whole point of this thing is to not
quarantine with your friends. Is that
up to 10 people? So
up to 10
up
people?
To 10?
And so if you have up to 10 friends,
And you would make
Well,
11.
they
So
make
you
it as
can't
up
do
as they
it.
go along. I swear to God. Up to 10 people. Up to 75 degrees on Tuesdays. At night.
Under a lamppost. Before we get into this whole thing, we got a shout out around Seattle. Thank you for the sponsorship.
Absolutely.
And hopefully you're being. We got to contact you, man. Check in on you because I heard Seattle's getting hit with some really bad shutdowns and stuff, and this is really bad over there. The outbreak in Seattle. So we're gonna check in with you, see how you're doing. But thank you. Without you and your help, your support, we wouldn't be able to have all this nice fancy stuff and equipment and to continue doing the Swerve City Podcast the way we've been doing it. And we've been pulling some guests. And speaking of guests we've been pulling, what up, Kayla Braxton? What's going on over there?
What's up, Swerve? How are you?
She doesn't like me, but yes. Yeah. But she was grateful enough to come to the Swerve City Podcast.
I'm excited. You know, I keep hearing people talk about this. I didn't know if it was real or not. So
see, they talk about it backstage at Smackdown.
No, I wasn't saying like at Smackdown. I just heard about it. I think it might be your Instagram or something.
You don't even follow me. What do you like?
Do I not? Yes, I do. I follow you. At least I follow you on Twitter.
Since we getting these follows in, what's up with your boy?
Hey y'all.
Wait, let me see.
Bold-faced fib.
Oh, but he doesn't follow me either.
Because you wasn't following me.
So,
Wait a minute.
So,
All right. At the same time,
I can easily go and unfollow again.
is she gonna leave?
1, 2, 3.
Boom.
Oh, look at that. We'll see how long that lasts.
No, that was a stalemate. So it was like, you do it first. No, you put the gun down.
She gonna
No,
sit
you
in the
move the
car
case.
like.
Hey, we all need extra friends right now. So,
Hey,
Sit in the car
quarantine.
like, bloop,
like 10, right?
unfollowed.
Yep. As soon as it's done.
So, Kayla, what's been going on with you? How's everything been?
Things have been really good. I mean, been really busy. Then everything obviously is kind of halting now. So I've been in this company for 3.5 years and have nonstop. So I have no idea what to do with my life at this point.
Because it's been nothing but go since you got hired.
I fly out every other day, and I don't know the next time I'll be on an airplane.
That's why it's been hard to get her locked in on this podcast because, oh, no, I'm going to be on a plane. I'm like,
Yep.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I got to go to work too.
Normally Monday nights is my bedtime right now because I have a very early flight on Tuesday mornings to fly to Stanford where we host The Bump. WWE's The Bump. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to be going up there for a little bit.
That's sad. That's sad.
I know.
Because The Bump's been very interesting guests because there's been a lot of surprise guests as well. It's not just who you bring in, who you advertise. There's always people that just show up on the big
Like
screen.
Goldberg. We didn't advertise him. I didn't even know who was coming on. I had it in my ear as a producer said he'd be down to take a FaceTime, and that was it.
See, we gonna get that one day. I'm gonna get this little video screen right here, and we're just gonna have like Coco Beware pop up. Why? I don't know.
I use that a lot. Yeah.
She's like,
And
don't
no
take
one
my-
ever like sells for me when I say that.
So we're gonna talk a little bit more about you. Go in the deep dive. Talk about your upbringing, growing up, where you from, brothers, sisters, family, all that.
All of that. So I was born in Texas. I'm a Texas girl originally. Austin.
You don't look very Texan.
What do I look?
I could have sworn it was like New York or something.
Nope.
I wouldn't have said New York either.
But then when I was 9, I moved to Alabama where I spent all my
That's
childhood.
more like it.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember you saying like something like you was in Alabama, you hometown or whatever like that. I was like, oh, okay. I figured you was Alabama more than Texas.
Okay.
Me personally.
War Eagle. And then I went to college in Nashville,
Okay. What part? What college?
Belmont University.
Ooh, journalism.
Journalism. Yep. Doing something with a degree. That's nice. That doesn't happen all the time.
Never. Help him out.
Yeah.
Journalism degrees over here.
Yeah.
Associates in communications.
Yeah, it's mass communications.
So they give you those 85 speech classes, and I used to get my grades docked because when I get up there, I get comfortable. I'll be talking. And, this speech has to be 5 minutes. One time, they clocked me in at 14:59. I was like, well, that's a C.
Hey, but C's get degrees.
Yeah.
You get through that.
Oh, if I could use that phrase from my mom back in school, that didn't work very well. How was that? How's that experience? Like, what were your challenging courses? What were your favorite things?
I am horrible at math. Numbers make zero sense to me, and especially when you throw in letters like algebra.
Yeah.
I'm a very I need to understand why something is. You can't just tell me this is why, and I felt that's math. So my brain would never wrap around it. So, but when it came to speech class and English class, and I enjoyed those types of classes way more because I could be creative.
How often are you on the other side of the interview? Because your whole job
Yeah.
and career is giving interview.
Very,
How's it feel
it's so rare. It's so uncomfortable. It's awkward. I'm a little uncomfortable right now because I'm not used to being
all these eyes on you like
used to
that
being interviewed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like all the
in the
attention.
camera. Yeah, yeah.
Stop.
Peek out like Jack Nicholson. Here's Johnny.
But like me personally, I always love the spotlight, but this is new to me being on the other side and giving the interview because wrestling, you always have to like, hey, be on my podcast,
Yep.
oh, be on this. So like for me, I feel like the real cool, interesting thing was just like being on like, okay, I get to ask the questions that I don't normally always hear because I always wanted to steer away from like the typical pro wrestling, like sports entertainment interview. So I always want like, and that's why I started the Swerve City Podcast to be like, let's talk about the person. I don't want to talk about myself all the time. I don't want to talk about like we don't talk about us. Maybe we'll mention what we do or little projects we have, but the whole thing's about you and like how you built yourself up to be where you are now. Because people at home that are watching, they are thinking about wanting to be in the same position that you are. They're thinking about wanting to go into journalism, and like, and I always want people to come back learning something from that guest.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Of course.
So moving on from college, what was your mindset after you graduated?
Yeah.
What was your primary like career field that you were trying to go into? Where were you trying?
So I minored in sports broadcasting, so I wanted to be like a sports reporter for a while. But my first opportunity that came available was an entertainment travel reporter in Orlando at the local NBC affiliate West True News. It was a brand new segment called Orlando My Way. So my job was to just travel around Central Florida, experience everything like a tourist, and do like stories on it. It was literally the coolest job ever as just a 22-year-old right out of college getting a job like that. Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
Interview mode.
Go ahead.
See?
Interview.
No, I got questions on that. Keep going.
So like I spent like for example, I'm not a big theme park person now because so much of my life for 2 years was every morning being at the theme parks, and I was a one-man band, so I'm like looking my camera equipment around in high heels in 110-degree weather, reporting on rides. And I don't really like children very much, and people know that if they follow me on social media. And obviously that's where a lot of kids hang out. So
I think they knew that. That's why they sent you there. They were like, "Hey, let's go send Kayla.
yeah.
She'll love daycare."
Yeah, right. So that was the first gig out of college, and then I got engaged and I quit my job and moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And that engagement didn't work out around the exact same time that WWE just randomly reached out to me. And I was like, no, thank you. Like I said no to WWE because I was in the entertainment. Now I want to be like an entertainment reporter because I'd been doing that. And I had no idea what WWE even was about. I had never watched it in my entire life. Like I didn't. And then they're like, hey, just fly into Orlando for a Full Sail taping and let us just... And then 2 days later, I was like in love with it. I was like, this is such a cool world. And it combines sports and entertainment, obviously. So, yeah, it just worked out. 3.5 years later.
Oh,
Here I am.
So it's stuck.
It's stuck.
For a lot of people, it either sticks or they're like, they don't understand it. It takes a lot. It's our, once again, like... what's going on in the world today. By the time you watch this, there's no other business out there like what we do.
No.
There's no other. Like,
and if you appreciate that, I mean, you got to love it. If you don't love it, there's no way you can last here, in my opinion. So, and I love it. I think the people have a lot to do with that. Like, I love the people. We work with some of the coolest people.
Yes. Greatest and most wild minds you'd ever find.
Oh, God, yeah.
Very, very interesting. I really wish, with you saying that, I really wish you would have been able to see some independent stuff and meet some of the minds out there. Because if you think ours is a circus, that is a traveling circus all the way around. And it's a Wild Wild West combined with aliens in Jurassic Park. That's what the independence is like. So you'll meet some wild minds out there that could find ways to make livings out of what they do with it and are very, and they're very inventive. There's some things that's going on out there that are ahead of its time that like we haven't caught up to yet. So, but that's my little piece on that.
You know, I have some follow-up to answer that because it made me think when you was talking about your background, right? What do you think on being on the other side now? What do you think is, with all your extensive background, what is the staple point and like what is the process of a good interview? When you're talking to someone, what key points, like what are like key things you always want to mention when you're talking to someone? Like for someone like me who's just about to graduate for the degree, like what do you think is like key points for someone who wants to do that? What do you think are like key points that they could have to help them with their interviewing skills or broadcasting skills?
Like I think
I'm listening.
I honestly, you have to approach every interview as in like you're telling a story. So I think a lot of interviewers will kind of get in the process of having like not calling, but like a lot of interviewers will have like these extensive notes, and we've had people come through the announce team with us who relied so heavily on just a script and this I want to ask this question and this whatever. You just want to tell a story that it's going to appeal to the audience. So whether you make someone feel like get emotional over like telling a story, or even I did another podcast before, and before the podcast, like, hey, what's some stuff that you haven't? Because we, as a person, like, we'll get into my background, but I've told my story a lot, and so I get used to saying the same thing. I can just tell my story in my sleep, but then if you kind of stop me, like, okay, what's something that maybe you haven't gone into before that kind of like makes it different and makes it more of like that's going to grab people. So I think just approaching it differently and not relying so heavily on facts and what people can go online and Google.
Yeah.
You know?
How do you maneuver through like the PR stuff as well? Like make sure you're not hitting like the targets where like people can go back and like find ways to like pick at you for asking this question or bringing up this topic or any group or anything or offending anybody.
I mean, the offended. Okay, so obviously we are in a very hypersensitive culture right now. So for the purposes of my job, I do make sure, like, I am very careful about what I say and how I say it. Even if I think it's a little ridiculous. I'll give you an example. I am half black. I'll put that out there. Not everyone knows that, and I've gotten crap on social media about that.
Got her. That was my goal this whole time. Snagger, yeah. We'll edit that out now.
But I made a comment about a very talented African American athlete.
Yeah.
And I said, I said, oh, wow, like she's had this great interview. I said, she's so well-spoken. As soon as I said it, it's something you can't say about a black person because people get very offended. Twitter ate me alive and said how offensive that was. Why would you not assume that she would be well-spoken?
Anybody would be well-spoken, you'd think.
But saying that is apparently very offensive, and it's really ridiculous. But even on the bump, we had Bianca Belair was on, and I almost said it then. I'm like, you know what? Just because we are in a hypersensitive world, and the last thing I need is the internet to go crazy because of something as stupid as that, I'm going to fall back and just...
Because like it's so interesting, like a compliment to you would be like a backhanded compliment to,
and that's how they took
the third party.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
so interesting.
Yeah,
and that's where that's where I'm like, I at first for a while I was nervous about bringing certain people on because their following is going to watch the interviews because they want to see. Oh, then that group is going to be like, oh my God, did you hear what he asked? I'm like, so like. I'm still trying to figure out wording, proper wording, maneuvering. Like coach us on some things that you were like taught about these PR, like I need some lessons.
I think it's one simple thing is like if you are even questioning yourself on something you're gonna say or gonna post, if you're even questioning it, just don't do it. Because we all have the gut feeling. We all know. Like I'm the worst sometimes when it comes to Twitter because I think I'm way funnier than everyone else thinks I am. So I'll get on there and I'm like, okay, let's formulate this tweet, and then there'll be that little bit of me that's like,
yeah, how many times you got to read
even if
it?
I get that like, I take it down.
Yeah,
it's like it's not even worth it.
I don't even. I just post like 3-4 words.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
I think you did that tonight.
I did. Yeah, I did. It's not like what?
Yeah,
like it's like I treat Twitter like that angry girlfriend. Girl, stop. What? They assume he's talking about this. This.
It's like the subtweet.
Yeah,
that's not.
Leave a gift. Your homie just going on and on. You just be like, wow, that's crazy.
Damn, yo.
Wow,
barbershop responses.
Like, man, you want to wrap it up, man. That's crazy, man.
He did that. Word. Yep, you can't get me for nothing.
You have the most entertaining Twitter. I swear to God, it is so entertaining.
Well,
I'll be
thank you.
Waiting. I'll be like. I know somebody gonna set off.
You should see my drafts that haven't gone out there yet.
That's a book in itself. I'm actually gonna ask you, like, yo, can you screenshot some of them drafts? We having a quarantine party over here.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had my hand slapped a couple of times, so I'm learning. Trying to be a little more careful. Or just create a ghost account. I'm kidding.
So what is it? What is it that sets you off? Like, what is it? Is it just like the people? Is it like just the responses people
What do you mean set me off?
Like, what is something that would? Okay, let's say you make a statement or something, and you post your opinion, or you just post something, that you just want to say, do fans respond to you in a way where or anybody can respond to where it can kind of be a trigger point for you, or you're just kind of like, you're just, the kind of person you are, you might be like, I'm just going to respond to this. I'm just going to say what I want. Yeah. So it took you some time, just not to respond to everything, or how did that work?
So I'm pretty bad. I don't respond, period.
Right. Got you.
And that's not necessarily a great thing about me, but I don't respond to any of it so that I don't feel like I have to respond to all of it. Mm-hmm. I don't, some people have the habit of just going and responding to the negative, which I think that's bad too, because then you're showing your loyal fans who are supportive that you care more about what the negative people say and you respond to them, but not to them. So I almost just kind of stay back. I actually promised everyone that I was going to do, because I've never done, a Q&A with fans ever. And so I was like, okay.
Might want to hold that true. Might want to hold.
Right about now.
Might want to hold that one in.
No, we're holding it for a little bit. We're gonna do it.
There's a lot of things on hold right about.
Yeah, but yes, some of their responses. I think I posted I hate cheesecake or something.
Can't even do that.
I mean, people were mad.
I remember this,
They
actually.
were mad.
I remember this. I was mad.
I got people unfollowing me.
That's why she's unfollowed on the gram at the time.
Oh, right, because I don't like cheesecake?
Oh, you really getting unfollowed on the card, B.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. Bro, I don't think you understand. I was like, the nerve. Are you kidding me?
Right? So offensive.
Cheesecake?
It's disgusting.
Uninvited from the barbecue. Because there was going to be cheesecake there.
Well, there's way better cakes.
What's a better cake than cheesecake? What are your top 3 cakes?
Gosh,
Bet you would never ask that before, huh?
I like anything that's lemon or orange. Like a nice lemon pound cake.
Wow, badass. And around here. Between that.
Yeah, he got that taste, but he said,
You know, that was a Scooby snap. Boy, he was like,
please don't say carrot cake. That's the worst
Carrot cake is great. It's not a top 3, though.
Boo!
I hate coconut. Coconut is one of the worst things that I went on a date with a guy, and it was our first date. We got into an argument about coconut, and we never went out again.
I feel like this was on Twitter too.
I didn't tweet about this one. I tweet about my dates often, but I wasn't giving him the satisfaction of being in my Twitter.
I had something to say, but I'm gonna keep that one in
I
the
get
drafts.
How you doing? My name's Terrence. This mother. The way he shook his hand was too firm.
Yep.
He got 3 buttons on his jacket. Oh.
The worst thing is I will tweet about my dates knowing, and I do it knowing that they probably follow me and are going to see them. But the last bad date I went on, and I tweeted about how I couldn't even get a word in. I don't know if you guys remember that tweet. Basically, I said I talk for a living, and this guy won't even let me get a word in. It was true. And
Why you dating Mara now like that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I love you, Morrow. You gonna be on here too. We gonna, yeah. He said he's gonna come on here.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best.
So he was basically like, "Hey, you want something to eat? Yeah, I know what you want to eat. How was your day? You work at WWE?
No,
that's great. You work at WWE. Oh, how you doing? Oh, what you wearing? Oh, that fragrance?
It was more like, what's the temperature outside? And then I would hear his whole autobiography.
He's on a date with Kayla Braxton. Duh. He's like, Kayla. So what's your typical, what's a good date for you?
I went on a decent date recently.
And then the quarantine
he
struck.
picked the place.
You'll never see him again.
Yeah, no, stop derailing me here.
That's what I do. Swerve City Podcast.
Stop swerving me. Yeah, it was a great day. He picked the place, which that's a big deal to me because I feel like a lot of guys these days are so lazy and you figure it out and I have to pick everything. I don't like doing that. So he chose a place. Look, as a former entertainment travel reporter, my job was I always had to like make all the decisions.
This is funny because we've had conversations about this. Keep going.
If a guy's gonna ask me out on a date, he needs to come up with a plan. Like I'm not. You're not gonna say, "Hey, we go out with me. By the way, can you choose the restaurant?"
Okay, so you like direction, right?
Yeah, but like only when I want to be directed.
Well, we get that. Okay, now you open the book. Okay, look, he's right here. We ain't get that. Okay, so like you gotta have direction, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about a guy that you like a guy that talks too much, right?
Yeah.
No, because this is interesting. This is really interesting.
No, he didn't say this.
So this is interesting. So you said that normally a lot of guys today they don't like to take the lead. They like to, maybe they're intimidated by you. But you're not attracted to guys who are that's intimidated.
There's a good happy medium, you know? It's like confidence is very necessary. You know, I understand, like, I get nervous on a first date. I don't care who it is. Like, but you have to pull yourself together, okay? For the good of the date, if you want a second date. Yeah, I mean, come on. You can't ask a girl on a date and ask her to make the plan, like, figure it out.
First date, sure.
And no, if you're the one, once you're in a relationship, you guys can decide. Yeah. All right, babe, hey, you pick tonight, you figure it out. But like in the beginning stages, listen, I'm maybe old-fashioned, Alabama girl. But these days, guys don't court women anymore. And I'm so tired of the whole, like, the hookup culture of, like, you know, you meet, you hook up, and then there's no dating. Instead of, like, where you should, like, take a girl out on a date and wine and dine her and not expect any, you know, like, it's just very different time than, like, our parents' age. Social media was a big thing of that because
everything moves faster now. Our society moves faster.
Well, you know, in the 60s, you took a girl out. All the thing you got, brother, date one was a peck on the cheek, brother.
If that.
That was, but like
you got this, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take the coat off and put it in the puddle.
Yeah. I'm like,
that's what I want. I want a guy to take his jacket off.
But I got no jacket and I'm cold.
And put it in the puddle.
This is something I did though. Now, tell you, last date I went on, no. Pete game, no. This is a good conversation. Last date I went on, no. Chick came from out of
I remember this one.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He know what I'm talking about too. Ooh. So she came from Canada. So, you know, we was in the ice cream parlor and I had my jacket on and she had nothing on. So, you know me, I'm trying to score goalie points. You know what I mean? So the first thing I do, take off the jacket.
Yes.
Wrapped it around her.
It's very nice.
Boy, I'm in there freezing. I'm in there like, if we get nice, I'm like, yeah, vanilla. We there freezing. But you know what? I understand what you're saying, though. Because I had to do it. It was just in my instinct to do it.
And that's not everyone does that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. And I got blessed. So that's how it goes.
Hey.
There you go. See? Case in point.
That doesn't mean nothing like that. I'm blessed. You know, I'm blessed.
He's
God
blessed.
is good. God is good.
I chew. Blessed. Yes.
Right. Blessed.
Oh.
Absolutely. But you know, I understand what you're saying, though, because do you think that a lot of guys that, you know, might meet you and you go on a date with someone, what is a red flag to you? What is something that's a red flag?
Ooh, good one. Good question.
Oh, I have a lot. Like it takes nothing for me to be like, I'm out.
Yeah, they're all in their
standards.
I have very little tolerance. So like, yeah, okay. You have to have a good sense of humor. Obviously, that's number one. So someone who just is like, I went on a date with a guy and he was just stiff, like nothing, like you couldn't break him. He just was like I don't know how many like knock jokes I gave him. He just wasn't into it. Yeah, the over talkers, the under talkers.
Good Lord.
It's like God. It's like trying to hit green in friggin' 2K. Shot with no ill. Hopefully I get it.
Oh, I know one thing. Interrupt. So when they ask you a question about yourself and then they interrupt your answer. Ooh. That happened to me recently, and I finally he cut me off. Where I said, "Would you like me to continue?" Like I just it made my blood just boil to ask. Cause I think that's the interviewer in me. But you asked me a question, you wouldn't let me answer.
He's fighting two people. He's fighting the woman and the career, then the journalist.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem.
You said this before,
too. This is like therapy.
We do wonders here at the Swerve City Podcast. Not only do we interview, have discussions, we also help people
So now you guys got the blueprint. If any of you guys that's happen to watch this, that want to ask her out on the date, if you guys, she's giving you the game.
Your shot,
she's giving you the game.
Be ready.
You know
Be ready.
Be on your P's and Q's. Have your jacket ready. Don't overtalk. Don't undertalk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't have your,
Open the door. Know where you're going to go eat.
Don't have your left eyebrow cut too out now.
Don't too goofy.
Don't let your hairline go past the peak.
Yeah. It has to be a little far out the city, but not too far. Comfortable. There's like long car rides. Chariots, please. Dessert, not cheesecake.
Oh, definitely not cheesecake or coconut.
What if somebody ate cheesecake right in front of you? The whole thing, like boom.
If somebody ate an entire cheesecake in front of me,
he's hungry. What?
Then we'll have a whole other discussion besides the fact that cheesecake is gross.
No, we got more. Oh Lord.
You can't eat a whole cheesecake.
You can't, or it's just wild for you to see that.
I don't even know what that would be like. I mean, I guess I've eaten an entire brownie
look at yourself.
Tray.
Look at yourself. You eat brownies.
Love brownies. Next time I'm on this show, please have hot brownies and vanilla ice cream for me.
He barely has water.
There was a time, and then you brought your own. I was like, "That's what you don't need my water no more."
You know how long?
He started bringing his own jug of water. I had water set up. Now I drink
man.
my monster. You bring your gallon,
man.
which you left over here.
That's what we do for $1.50, baby. You know,
Yep.
so okay.
This was our interview, but you know.
So, you so you said about the red flags. You said about the undertalk or anything else. Anything else that because I'm trying to get these guys game. They want the game.
I
Ain't for them.
I have really good intuition too, though. Like I feel like I can sense a sociopath, or like a crazy person really early. So another date I went on, he got super. I've been single for almost 4 years, so I'm trying to get.
Oh, honey, child.
I'm almost 30 years old. I've got to get back out there.
Oh, honey, child.
Yeah, he would just get he was very short fused. I would say something trying to be nice, and he'd get upset. And then finally one day I was like, just don't. I said, it was very nice. We hung out several times. We were actually kind of moving into a good direction. And I said, listen, you have things you need to work out. Please don't respond to this text message. And then that was the end of it. Because I wanted to politely tell him that I don't ghost people, but I wanted him to understand it wasn't going to work out. No need to reply. Save your data. Move on.
Are you dating people at Arkham Asylum? What's going on right now?
Boy, Are you like the person you are you naturally when somebody gets to know you? Are you a naturally are you naturally
She said don't respond.
Oh my gosh, I hope he doesn't hear.
He's probably gonna text you, hey, how you doing? You got that text? He was like,
you don't know what he did after he saw that text. That's terrifying. He probably put his hand over a candle for 18 minutes. I just want to feel.
He had Marvin's Room, boy. He was just sitting there oh God.
Oh my God. I don't even know why.
The 2 dates at Denny's was everything to me. So when somebody gets to know you as a person, right? So do you think that with these type of guys you go on dates with, because it just shocked me that I would hear something like, oh, why I always got to pick out the place and stuff like that. Is it maybe the type of people you like going out with, or what do you think?
What are you attracted to?
That's what I'm saying.
What attracts you to these
type of people?
Stiffs?
Right.
So typically, I am more even my
my
ex-fiance, I'm more attracted when it comes to personality, because I'm such an outgoing type A. I prefer the quieter, but quiet and confident type. They don't need to be the life of the party. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I cannot date someone like me. I've never successfully dated another journalist.
There is a person like that.
Like me?
A male.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, but we would not be.
Male version of it.
They naturally call them Sigma males.
Sigma males.
They're called Sigma males. How do I know this?
He watches his own.
I do my research on,
He does his thing.
Yeah.
You got alphas, you got betas, and you got sigmas. Sigmas are the quiet, more reserved. They like alphas, but they're just not.
They don't need to be. Yes.
Betas.
Oh my God, here we go.
You gotta finish it.
So you would say you're
the confidence of an alpha, but not necessarily the personality of one. You kind of can sit back and just
That's a Sigma.
Asking for a lot, though.
That's a Sigma male, though.
But that's asking.
Again, that's that range.
That's that middle.
That's
that middle.
don't you think that's asking for a lot?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
She said no.
I actually don't think so either. Nah, because some men are confident and they're more quiet with it. They don't have to be.
And that's what I like is the quiet.
They don't have to be like, I'm gonna do this because I said I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna get it done. They're like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then just go do it.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it because I'm an alpha male.
Saw
He's
him the
like,
other day.
he's more calm. He's like, oh, you gonna get this done? He's like, all right, I'll get
There's
this done.
several moose spottings that happen around the Orlando area.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Trust me.
Okay, so more of the okay. I got
yeah. So yeah, and I think we all are allowed to be picky. You know?
Yeah, I've been single for 2 years. I'm picky.
Yeah, you should be.
I think I'm starting to get to that point right now. I'm like, I can't just go for anything.
No. You should never. Like what?
But here's my thing. My for me, I was always wide range. I went for the outgoing type. I went for the person that's just like me. I went for somebody that's like completely opposite. This, because I was trying to, I was just trying to like see. You don't know what you need. You think you know what you need, but you really don't know. Mm-hmm. You have to experience it to know what you need or don't know. Mm-hmm. So, like, I tried many types of partners that are just like, I'm going to rephrase that. I've dated and been engaged before.
Well, this podcast has been great.
Outside, but that are similar. So, I don't think being picky is a helpful thing, though. I think.
But if you know, if you've already done it, it's like you mark off. Check. You know, you've like someone who's been engaged. I've been engaged. You know what didn't work, so I think you absolutely can be picky. I'm not going to go back and date the same kind of guy I dated back then.
Okay, then what?
Now, he was a great guy. I don't want to say,
but that same type of person may not be the same person.
But the personality traits that I hated or didn't like.
But how can you equate the person's soul, their mindset?
Oh, God.
That means something. I'm going to light some candles up in this hole, man. I'm going to light some candles up in here, man.
Look,
like, what about the soul?
When you have a connection, you have a connection. I'm not going to, like, turn anything down because, like, but, like, I usually go into something with a preconceived. Maybe maybe probably is not a good thing. I go in already kind of having an idea if I'm going to be into it or not. But I just read really fast.
Preconceived notions that you're going to be into.
Okay, so I believe everybody has certain.
We were supposed to talk about a career.
But this is you know, everybody, you know, has like certain flaws with them, right?
Has what? Flaws?
It's like flaws with
of course.
within themselves. So
I know, but
what if you found someone that
I don't got none.
that passed away?
I'm kidding.
There we go.
Shut it down. Matter of fact, unfollow, man.
that passed all everything on your checklist, but he might not be the greatest dishwasher, or he might not be. You know what I mean? Like, is it that bad?
No.
Okay.
You have to hit if you hit 75% of my criteria. But I'm not even finding guys who can do that.
That's a C.
That's C's get degrees. We talked about this. C's get. No, I'm not gonna do it. No, I was gonna say Kayla, but no, different letter. B's get Braxton.
What's the lowest percentage? Like, get someone hit like maybe 55.
He said, I could probably get
because my white leg a little short.
Oh, I can't.
I got a slight
Well, I did get my license suspended back in 2010.
Now, you know, I got a bad shoulder, so you know when it's cold and I give you the coat, it might droop a little bit on the left side when it's cold out. But
never did get that surgery back in 03.
I got a lower T disc in my back, and I can't pick you up and give you a hug, but I can hold hands with you.
2 months.
She'll be like, nope, we're not doing it. She's like, nope, pass.
He's like, what date is it? Ooh, it's about time. What date is it? What? It's about time to flare it up again. Oh boy. Oh God.
You find the perfect guy, but he just got to put on old man glasses. Can't use computers. He just like, Kayla, come help me type up this resume here.
I'll accept it.
At this point, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is something you need to accept.
You might be right.
He might balance out.
You might be right.
Hey, I'm at the stage of my life, my friend, where it's like I kind of like living alone.
Well, I've been alone for so long. I think my best friend even says she thinks that I sabotage things because
there is that
because I've been alone for so long. So I'm gonna try to find a reason because it's so out of my comfort zone. Like, I don't remember what it's like to be a girlfriend. And I get irritated thinking about the fact that, like, if I have a date, I'm like, oh my God, this jerk is making me have to get ready to go out.
But people do that with, like, a lot of things, not just relationships. They do that in, like, in jobs, career fields, like things, like they're so used to, they grow up, things just being sabotaged. Like, maybe they came up with in a home where, like, a broken home and stuff like that. School, always thrown out. Had a job, had this. And so when they get something good finally handed to them, they always have to sabotage.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Better Call Saul type feel where he always has to, he has that urge.
Yep.
He has to put his finger, he has to do something.
Yeah.
You know, do you think that's what's going on?
Oh, and I've acknowledged that. Like, I know, like, because of my childhood, it's a whole nother thing, but, like, I know for a fact this is why I sabotage relationships. Like, well, and this is, I've talked about this before, I have a very, and with former jobs too, I have a very, like, I'm going to leave before I get left kind of mentality. And that, I know that's a
the Swerve City Podcast, we deep dive.
Can I get some dap for that one? Because that's kind of me.
yeah.
Kind of would be going before the gets going on me. I'm kind of out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't do this.
No, I want to see the car drive off the cliff. I'm not going to jump out. I'm like, I'm like, we've been in here.
See, I'll let you jump.
Yep, I'm like, hands. But that's me. I like to see things to the end, even if it's good or bad.
No, and that's a great quality.
Hanging on the cliff, and you're like, come reach my hand. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you shouldn't have been at the edge of the cliff.
Or just make you think I'm holding on, and then
Right, but like,
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh my God! Stop, studio audience. And you're.
I feel you, dog. I feel you.
I had a joke for that, but I'm not going to do it.
Do it.
Can't do it.
Well, we're here now.
We're 2 employees. I can't
Okay.
do that.
Well, yeah. Don't get me. Don't get me.
We posted it.
We posted it. Ain't no,
Oh, you want me to give y'all more work to do?
IG Live. It hasn't stopped you before.
It's not funny anymore. Past time.
Oh,
Moving on.
It probably wasn't funny in the beginning with.
Ooh.
You're not funny to begin with.
Oh.
Ooh, Razor Ramon hands.
So we gonna fight one day. I swear, dude. Man, you're lucky we in this quarantine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
She had the nerve to take her shoes off in my house too. Like,
I don't like wearing shoes. I hate shoes. I
see,
I walk around barefoot everywhere, and I've never gotten any athlete's foot or worms, whatever it is people are scared of.
She's a bacteria.
now, what if you ran into a dude that says like that bothers another dude?
Oh, no,
wait,
okay.
okay. I do that.
No,
It's getting real. Man. Shoes on the other foot.
no,
Or is it?
Literally, it isn't.
no. There's on no feet. I think it's very nice for a man to like give his woman a nice foot massage after a long day.
I am down for that.
And I wear heels all day.
Yeah.
I dated a guy like for a while who like refused to let my feet even like if this is the couch, he's sitting here, my feet would like he wouldn't even let them be close. I'm like that's a little like rude, but that's just how he. But that's also just how he was with feet. But I knew that wouldn't work out because I need my foot massages, and I return them. It's not like a one-way thing. But you can't be grossed out by feet.
Yeah. He'll film feet.
Now I don't want some weird. No, there's a line. Okay, there's a line.
He has to accept your feet.
I'm not. If I put my feet on you, you rub them. Don't come seeking them out. If I'm,
Yo, come home from work, honey. Where's the feet?
Yo.
Where the feet? I brought your shoes again.
Shout out to the dude. Whoever that dude's out there that passes this rule book she has. Whoever
Lord.
this dude is, you are the
the
goat.
day
I'ma
that
shake
I
your
have
hand,
a
brother.
boyfriend, yeah,
Bro,
you'll have to
like,
bring him on this.
This
on
book's
the
thicker
show.
than the bro code from How I Met Your Mother.
She gonna come back and the boyfriend gonna be in that seat like, yes, honey. No, honey. Yes.
Yo, somebody's taking notes when this pops. When this pops up, somebody's like, "So no feet, cheesecake, okay. Yeah, stay with." Like, oh, I can laugh at that. Oh, no, no.
And
I
then,
can't laugh.
then he's gonna have everything
much.
right. He's gonna ask her on the date. She'll say yes, and he'll mess up. He'll be like, "She'll have a Sprite, please." I don't like Sprite. Oh
No, I know it's gonna be like that SpongeBob episode. He's the perfect waiter, but what's your name? Name. What's his name? We threw out his name. Oh, I wish I had Swole here for this.
I know.
Really do.
She would have died in this episode, man.
Oh, we got to do a part 2. Matter of fact, just Swole's World, which is you and her, because I've asked everything I needed. I need a beverage.
Drink your Monster.
Oh, can we get into music, please?
Yes. Okay. So now we had a relationship talk with Swerve City.
Well, I was supposed to talk about her career.
Yeah, that was a good dynamic, man. Wow. Okay.
A little bit about me.
Music.
Yeah.
What type of music do you like? Give me a list of some of your artists.
This
Who do
is
you
one
like?
of my
Genres?
least favorite questions.
Okay, then talk about it.
Because I
You can
don't.
leave.
I just don't. I just love it all. Like I literally have no. Like there's some days I like want to turn on like rock and just listen to like old rock. And there's days I'm just like in a like an art like just R&B and just being like my emotions about how single I am.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
You know, there's no wrong answers to that, but that does tell you the person they are.
Biggie or Pop?
Indifferent.
You have to answer.
Do I?
Yes, you do. There's no mulligans here.
Let's come back to it.
That answers a lot.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC, man.
Yeah, that's my point. When it comes to anytime I talk about music, it's like I feel like I can't say I have a favorite artist. I can't say I have a favorite like decade. I grew up I have older siblings, so I like stuff from the 70s I would listen to. You know, like when I go I love to karaoke. I typically pull out like some 70s stuff or like I've sing Metallica.
What's a 70s song that I could know?
Well, there's this song called Brand New Key by Melanie, which is like has a lot of meaning to like my childhood, like when I was a kid, because it was like the song that me and my mom and my sisters would sing together when things weren't great. But it's a really fun like song. Go listen to it. But it's from the 70s. That's what I.
One day we're gonna write down.
That's my karaoke song.
These suggestions.
Karaoke? You could actually say?
I didn't say that. I said I karaoke'd. It's like my favorite activity.
I stand corrected. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's still hurting.
Why?
That Biggie Tupac.
Yeah. What about you?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, so the question switches to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you answer.
Normally, I don't do this. Normally, this is my guess.
Normally I don't do this, but
Normally, I don't do this. Go ahead, hit him.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh.
What happened?
In my DNA. Oh, I was ready too.
What I
I
missed?
can't sing "You Are Not Alone" no more. I can't sing.
Nope. Yeah.
Okay, to answer the question.
The pirate belly. Yeah. R. Yeah. Aura.
I would say Biggie.
Okay.
Biggie.
Why?
East Coast.
I would say Biggie is
East Coast.
more
East Coast.
more universal, talent wise, skill wise. I think Tupac is the better like poet. I think he has better, deeper
He
records.
like relates more to people.
I think Tupac is the best rapper at making. When it comes to life, I think Tupac is the best at making music that actually mattered for your life.
Okay.
Like your life.
Yeah.
But but I would say that now that I got older, I listen to more Biggie because there's a little bit more of a variety.
I feel like Biggie was just. I feel like Biggie was just more likable. He had a certain charisma about him. He was one of those. He did so much with doing less, and there's something about Biggie with this charisma with that. I like the swag.
Okay.
That's just me personally.
Yeah, for him to look how he look and sell. Yeah. That's talent, bro. Because nobody looked like him and was selling like it had that much appeal.
No.
No, Biggie.
But that's that charisma. That's a big charisma. That's a big personality. Even on interviews and like videos.
Oh yeah, personality.
But that's the point though.
What that means?
Trust for that question. Appeal. You look at a guy like Biggie Smalls. Would you be interested in dating a guy like Biggie Smalls just by looking at him?
No.
Bingo. So that's what that leads to your point on him having the talent and being able to overcome that.
But that's like life. I mean, I see you, but like at the end of the day,
You gotta get all deep with it.
But no, but like
hip hop. God.
But no, when you talk about charisma and your personality and how you appeal to your audience or to the people around you, that 100% goes like eons above appearance. Gives me chills.
Are there any musicians that help inspire you? Like your everyday life?
Love me some Demi Lovato with all of her positivity lately, which is important.
Anyone growing up when you were younger? Any, like, let's say a woman you looked up to, like somebody who like helped you through life. They had songs, they had a career, the music helped you through life as you was growing up. Life lessons, things like that.
Life.
Man, I don't even like think of it. I don't even know. Like, these aren't like questions to even think about.
That's why you're here.
I listened to a lot of weird stuff growing up.
There's nothing weird.
But I mean, like, not, you're like, when you say
not
okay,
the,
so from a very young age, I'm a big, like, horror, like, I will sit in a dark room for hours and just watch, like, the goriest of horror movies.
Right.
Love that kind of stuff.
Horror.
So, like, in that, like, with music, grew up listening to, like, a lot of Marilyn Manson and just, like...
Okay.
I like Marilyn.
Yeah, so... I think more the darker stuff I was really into as a kid. So nothing that was necessarily inspiring. I just kind of like the...
You just kind of like the vibes.
I like the vibe,
stuff.
yeah.
Right.
I like the weed smoke music, that vibe. I love that vibe.
Like Bob Marley. Grew up, went to all the Bob Marley festivals.
I'm not a Marley person.
But I was big...
Not too reggae.
My sister really got... Yeah. Reggae was big, but...
Yeah. I know, but I never partake.
In a Tejas.
Yeah, but I like that vibe of music. I've always been into. I like the spacey sound. Yeah, the trippy. Yeah, that's always been. But I've never done any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
You don't have to be inspired or have it catch your ear.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes. Yeah.
Now, I did go through a stage that I did want to be a female rapper. And I'm going to say this because, listen, I used to, in college, I would freestyle a little bit. And so, but here's the thing.
I'm about to ask you, right?
No, hold on. So, I went to I'm not to glaze over this, but like, when I moved from Alabama to Texas, or from Texas to Alabama, I moved into a foster home. And that's when I moved to Alabama.
Okay.
My foster father is a preacher. We went to a Christian high school. So we had a final project, and so I was like, I'm gonna make a rap video with all my friends, and I'm gonna write a rap. And I did that, and it was called "Sipping on the Word." And I had all my friends like in a party scene, and we had Cokes. We took all the rap of the Cokes, and I just wrote beer, and everyone was like drinking beer, and
I must see this.
And it was
video.
called somewhere, and it was called "Sipping on the Word." And it was great. I was very proud of it. It was very catchy.
Do you remember any of the bars?
I do, actually.
Can I hear something?
I think this is a long time ago. Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh my god. The lyrics are really bad, but let's see what we do. I think it was.
Go down to the D.
Don't be.
Sipping on some scissor.
Keep continuing.
So it's don't be sipping on that haterade. Oh my god. Don't be sipping on that haterade. Be sipping on the word. Be telling folks about Jesus. Make sure everyone done heard about the great things he did and how he had to die so all of us could one day join him in the sky. Oh, snack, and that was our initials. Oh, snack, that's right. No, we don't bite. We've been saved by the one who is called the light. He's been saving his people for ages and ages, but people still don't believe what's written on the pages. People have been breathing in, but they ain't breathed out. The word ain't getting on the street, it's staying in the house. So what we got to say, we say it real loudly. Quit hating and enter the streets and get rowdy. There's so many out there who ain't heard the word. Begin your Bible reading. I don't think that was it. And start sipping on the word.
Oh.
I need to it's been a while since
Great stuff. Here's my follow-up question. When we get in the studio? When we wrap it? When we get in the studio? When we get in the studio?
That was like 16-year-old Kayla, And I wanted to write, like when Nicki Minaj first hit the scene, I was like, I'm going to write a song for Nicki. And I wanted to redo Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini, but turn it into like a Nicki Minaj type song where she's rapping about being on the beach in a bikini, which has never happened. So,
So you're not ducking this recording smoke. You got to get you in the studio.
I'll do it. Never too late.
We got to get you in the studio to record something because obviously you write your own raps.
I do. I used to write. I love poetry. I used to write a lot of poems, and I kind of turned it all into with adding beats and stuff to it.
But rap is just some flowing poetry.
Right?
Beat. Flowetry.
Flowetry.
Is this a collaboration, I sense?
I don't want her in the studio. I'm playing.
You'll be like, she'll like
That's my one. That's my one piece. And if she comes, she gonna disrupt my aura. I have a really good thing going right now. I'm in a freaking
aura.
I'm in a zone, bro. You
invited me into your house, man. This is what happens.
I had a good thing going.
It's over. It's all over.
She in this studio. We gotta have her in the other one too.
Oh, so you scared she gonna wash you on the track?
Those are fighting words.
Could happen.
And it will never it shall never happen. Miss honey.
And I'm like 10 years out of practice. So this could be very embarrassing for you.
Oh, this is my first time ever doing it, sister, honey, girl. So you can take you and your husband Josiah and get up in the studio and we can go bar for bar. How about that?
Let's go.
Yeah. Shoot. She don't know we got juice in the freaking features and stuff, man.
See, he's being that kind of male who talks a lot. Like, he's trying to talk, saying he can get stuff done, but, like, can he really get stuff done?
Hey, look, man, look. Y'all can battle. I need the feature, okay? Y'all can do whatever y'all want. I need the verse.
Hey, just saying.
I love you. I got your back, but I need that verse still. After we get the verse,
what you got to do. It ain't gonna be on the Swerve City album.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Listen, hey, you know how hard it is to find female talent?
Yes.
You better. Yes, you're the greatest rapper of all time. Please, yes.
Yeah. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah, you better be nice to me. What else you got?
I wish I had Swole here to handle this, but
I can interview myself. I'm kidding.
have your way.
I don't know if anybody watches The Office. I'm obviously an avid watcher, but there was an episode where Dwight's trying to get the general manager position or the regional manager position, and he interviews himself. It's a great episode. Go watch it.
The floor is yours.
I'm not really going to interview myself.
Oh, but she said,
What do you want to know?
all right, if this would usually be Swole's world, and she usually goes into pop culture. What are your favorite shows, movies, comics, video games, any of that stuff?
Yeah. So right now, like I was talking to you guys earlier, but I just started Game of Thrones. Who knows how long I'm going to hang in there. I'm only on season 1, episode 3.
Not.
I wish the episodes were like 20 minutes apiece, because the hour long, I'm just like, who is this person? And why, like...
Is it one of those things you're going to have to wait like 6 episodes ahead to find out this answer?
I honestly have no idea. And I get very distracted. Like, that's one of those shows, kind of like Breaking Bad, which I think was one of the best shows of all time.
Greatest show ever.
But you can't be on your phone. You have to like sit and focus.
Oh, yes.
And so I find myself like with Game of Thrones, like texting and emailing, and I can't do that. I need like brainless stuff. There's a new show called, or not new show, I think it's called Good Girls, about the housewives.
Yeah,
Great show.
So it's dope.
Lil Dicky has a new show or something like that earlier. I want to meet him really badly, so if you can be friends with him.
You're on TV
Called
more
Dave. Waiting on Haunting on Hill House to come back.
Need that.
Dead to Me. I'm waiting for that to come back. Great show on Netflix if you haven't watched it.
Dead to Me.
Dead to Me. Highly recommend it. And have you heard of it? Oh, just trust me. It's only 1 season out.
Dead to Me.
The Outsider on HBO. Jason Bateman. Great show. If you're into like suspense that turns into like horror.
Outsiders.
Yeah.
Ozark.
Yeah.
I need Ozark.
Ozark is supposed to be coming back. Well, they halted production on it.
Yep.
This is so annoying.
This is killing us. And Stranger Things 4.
Well, I only watched this first season of that. But I do want to go and like, yeah.
Yeah, you can skip over Game of Thrones. Get on that Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. If you like Stranger Things, there's a new show on Netflix called I'm Not Okay With.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I seen the...
it's good.
Ain't that the girl from...
From It, yeah.
I saw a couple of them. There's like both of them are from It. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm feeling the cast. It's a little weird, but I'm going to check it out.
Great show.
Yeah, I saw the trailers. What was the last good movie you watched? Went to see?
I went and saw The Invisible Man.
Yo, who was the last person here? Nikki says she went to just seen it.
Phenomenal. Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 90, like in the 90s. And that's not Rotten Tomatoes with like...
They'll hit you.
Phenomenal. Go see it. Whenever you can.
So that's 2 episodes in a row we got put on to Invisible Man.
It's just different.
I can't go see it now. I don't know how I'm going to watch the movie. No, shoot. How we going to watch this movie, bro?
I don't know, though.
I'm not watching it with you. How we gonna watch this movie?
I think I saw an article where the theaters are going to release all the movies where you can like on Amazon or stream them somewhere.
Amazon?
Or somewhere. I got to double check
They
that.
need to hook us up because I need that. I need that plug.
Yep.
That's gonna be dope. Well, it's about time I let you go. Thank God.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah, it's past your
Felt
bedtime
like I was in
anyway.
for like 3 hours. I know.
Yeah. See?
Wait, so how much do I get paid for this?
They don't get water. So what are you talking about paid? Yeah. Ain't you paid enough?
None of us are ever paid enough.
You know what? That's the one thing I'll give you that one.
Mm-hmm.
She right, you know.
I'll give you that one.
Yep.
Till next time. Though.
Till next time. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming through
Yeah, this was fun.
and taking your shoes off on the carpet.
I made myself at home.
Right? Mm-hmm. Everybody makes themselves at home at the Swerve City Podcast. Everybody has a good time. Everybody wants to come back.
Absolutely, man. And to all you guys out there that want an opportunity with her, good luck, man.
Shoot your shot. But
good
Lord
luck.
Steph Curry range.
Half court.
Whoo!
Airball.
Hey, I'm taking resumes, so
Okay.
email them. Yeah, no, don't. Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Hi. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and
Stuart,
I'm gonna
he's
go
back.
out by saying this. To I don't know if I'm supposed to look into the camera or talk whatever I'm doing, but like, I'm just gonna to those of gentlemen, and I use that word very loosely, who have the audacity to send some of the things you send into the females' DMs. Shame on you. Go talk to your mother. She needs to talk some sense into you. And stop being disgusting. And it's never going to work for you. And I just really want to say that because I got some really bad ones this week. And I'm just like, I don't really understand the mentality of why you think you can send these messages. So be better, guys.
Coronavirus.
And I'm sure girls do the same thing on the other end. So women, don't be disgusting. And don't send DMs.
I mean, no, don't do that. That's nasty.
Guys, whatever DMs you send to me, just shoot over to him.
Guys.
You could screen them for me.
Yeah, I'll send it back to you. Like, hey,
Blocked.
You're gonna think it is me. I'm like, no, it's not. But yeah, where can they find you? What you got going
It's
on?
all Kayla Braxton, WWE, Instagram and Twitter. Those are my only two social medias. I'm gonna try to get on this TikTok thing because everyone's doing it.
I don't think I'm gonna break on that one.
No? Okay.
I don't think that's me.
Not for the hood.
I might try it.
No, some things need to just stay in my home. I don't need it. Yeah, you don't need to see me dancing while doing dishes.
Is that what you have to do when you on the TikTok?
That's what I've been seeing.
Unless your
People
TikTok-
switching clothes with girls and stuff. I don't need all that.
verse, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all my raps will be on there. All my diss tracks to Swerve.
Bring it back. Bring it back. I'm gonna ignore you for a while like Eminem and Nick Cannon, but then I'm just gonna write a nasty one and be like, blow, hit low, hit hard.
Have you cried on the show yet?
Not yet.
Okay. This will be it.
You haven't worn shoes on the show. So.
And I never will.
But yeah, so as always, be confident in everything you do.
Wash your ass.
Or you're gonna get a pop out. Now it's evident. We told you to wash your ass. We told you. Now look what happened. Quarantine. You should have washed your ass.
We said this from the beginning.
Oh
Saying it
my.
for a year now.
What did I walk into?